Boys and girls, ladies and gents, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to, in fact, the best day of the week here at High Top Sports. We got LSU versus Florida preview. We got an LSU insider joining us today to give us his thoughts and opinions on how this game is going to break down. The Beat LSU t-shirts are on, boys and girls. It's time to dial it in, get fired up. We got plenty of days to sulk in our sorrows, to complain, to vent. We've talked to anybody and everybody that had an opinion about Saturday. We heard it. We loved it. We appreciated it. But now we got to gear up. We got to lock in. We got to dial in and get on ready for Saturday and go put some Tiger Bayou in the mouth. If you know what I mean, boys and girls. We had old Billy Presser today. Had some hot takes. Old Dave Waters pressing the heat. Then we still will tap in because, again, we'll talk about some former players voicing their opinions. We get an injury report as well that has been released. And then, of course, we'll get Bozeman on the show, unfortunately, and do some pick'ems. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. And without further ado, David Swolder joins the show, boys and girls. Good to see you, Bubba.
Man, respot the ball. All sorts of shenanigans going on over here in college football, especially with the Florida Gators football team. But we got some good news today from the injury report. Looks like Caleb Banks is healthy. He will play against LSU. Dallas Wilson still
Don't
out,
tease it. We're going to pull it up.
Well, it's all over the socials, man.
Yeah, but people listening haven't seen it yet. Well, don't give our whole thing away. Eesh.
Man,
give the whole show away in the first 3 minutes.
Well, okay. Well, besides that, it's Wednesday. It's the best day of the week. Let's get it. Let's go.
What's your new sticker say? What's the new?
It says Gators by a million, maybe.
Okay. All right. I love all the new renditions of the T-shirts at High Top. They're fantastic. Big fan.
Yeah, man. I'm coming out with a new clothing line right now, so it just depends on how nature does, though. Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Boys and girls, good to see you. Happy to have you. Before we get started, just a quick little thing. We won't get too much. I know you guys come here for sports and to kind of break away from the outside world, but had a tragic situation that happened today. Prayers to the Kirk family. An awful event, man. Look, for me, it hit me home, obviously, being a Pops. I think that's what really kind of struck me today. There's two little girls that don't get to go through their nightly routines with their pops, and that sucks, man. That sucks. No matter what you view or what you think, I think we can all sit together and realize that this is a crappy moment. So love the one next to you, boys and girls. This life is short and it's sweet and it's beautiful. So make sure you appreciate it. Appreciate you, boys. All right, Swoldy. Yeah. Let's get into it. We're gonna save the injury report since you had to, kind of spoil the buns a little bit. My man, Army Sniper, $20. Cheers, baby. Hey, cheers, boys and girls. Let's get it. Let's have a good show, okay?
Cheers. Here you go. It's an empty cup, but cheers.
Shout out to Daikin, boy. We'll talk about them later on, supporting the air conditioning. All right, we got a few minutes here before Chris joins us to talk about LSU, and then Dave and I will break down LSU. But I want to play this clip. Shout out to Dave. I feel like Dave always gets the last hot mic, right? He has the recruiting video. Now this might be his. Yeah, this might be his going out party here. I don't think Napier was too happy with Dave after this one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
And we'll begin with David Waters of Gators Breakdown.
Yeah, Coach, you just mentioned keeping it simple, but after this unexpected early season loss, what is the balance of maybe having to go back to the drawing board or sticking with the process of building for this season?
I think specifically here, everything that's been built here didn't all of a sudden just disappear, okay? We didn't perform to the best of our ability. Ball didn't bounce our way on a few things. But there's been a ton of investment put into the people on our team, within the organization, and those things still exist. If you've been doing this the right way, you've developed some intangibles to prepare for these type of moments. And sometimes the game gives you what you need. It gives you exactly what you need. And I think teams, there's a number of examples. This can galvanize your group. I think when adversity hits, you need to elevate, and you definitely don't need to shrink back. So we're going to double down on who we are and try to go play a brand of football that we all can be proud of.
All right, there's two parts to this. We'll get into the second part. But I know people are like, we've heard enough. I got to be honest. This isn't me pumping Kool-Aid. This isn't me buying back in. But I appreciate the answer. I mean, he's not wrong, right? Like, at this point, this far into it, you can't go, yeah, we're just scrapping everything that I've been working on. We're just gonna redo it.
Yeah, just only a few balls that didn't bounce your way. I mean, come on.
Look, there's a little bit of truth to that. I think things got to go your way. Some kind of bad calls for sure that can change momentum. Not an excuse by any stretch of the imagination, but there is part of the game that needs to go your way. I love the fact that he says, yeah, hey, we're doubling down. I think it shows a little bit of tenacity, if you will. I mean, you got nothing to lose. We talked about this at the beginning of the year when Thomas Castellanos came out and kind of threw a lot of shade at Alabama. And I saw TJ's Pittiger from Double Slaw and Handy. I loved his take on it. He's like, look, in all reality, we've got nothing to lose here. Like, sure, if we do lose to Alabama, we're going to get crap regardless. Now the crap might just be a little bit more, but it's going to only last for a couple of days. But if we win, it's awesome. In a weird world, Florida, Napier, us, I thought about it today. I was like, man, if we were 2-0, I think I'd be a little more nervous than I am going into this game. I would, because there'd be pressure. There'd be an expectation to perform, to do a certain thing, to act a certain way. Like, we got to just go and be perfect. We got to go and do what we did the last 2 weeks. There's something special about going in with your head cut off of like, I don't give an absolute beep. Like, we've looked as stupid as you could possibly look. Like, you can't, there's no going back, right? There's kind of a weird blessing in that. So I like that he said double down. I'm not easy, all right? I'm not rewriting. I'm still staying on my ground here, but I can still sit here and appreciate a good take. I mean, what do you want me to do? Fold over like a lawn chair? Some of you would. Some of you would. I asked the wrong one. But yeah.
I mean, it goes back to kind of what I said last night on Shannon's show. I didn't really get I guess I didn't finish what I was saying, but like, I mean, you either take the USF game as a slap in the face and it wakes you up and you become a better team and you become a better, I guess, a unit on the field, or you lie down like a dog and let the schedule just roll you over. I mean, there's two options here. You either go out there and you punch somebody in the mouth and prove to you like, hey, dude, we're not this team. Or you say, hey, look, screw it. We give up, man. We can't even beat USF and we'll just lie down against the rest of the schedule. It's up to the players. And I know that there was a players meeting and all that other kind of stuff. And, you know, I don't know what was said in that meeting, but I guess that's a good thing because the players, they realized like, hey, we kind of suck and we didn't really execute. And also at the same time, it was a collaboration of everything in that USF game. Like the ball didn't bounce your way, whatever. Yeah, it got thrown over your punter's head that went over there to a safety in the end zone. But nonetheless, like those are execution moments. Those are things you train these people for. These are the things that all still falls on the head coach, like at the end of the day. Now, granted, you can blame the player for not executing a play, but you also got to blame the coach for not getting the player to execute the play right.
Look, your cousin Vinny, I know it's not profound. I know it's coach speak, but again, I think that I'm not raising the flag of like, here we go. Okay, I get that. You felt a little bit of you cut off Dave. He's fired up. He cuts him off again here too. I mean, he's over it, and as he should be. I mean, I get it.
He's fired up, man.
He's fired up. I mean, finally a little bit of juice. We had it last year, so maybe it'll work.
And Coach, with the time missed and now seeing Lagway through 2 games, are you having to adjust game plan or play calls in the game more than you thought, or how much are the actual games finding out what he is capable of?
DJ continues to get exponentially better by the day. The more work he gets, the better he's going to get. So, it's exponential improvement at this point because he's getting a ton of reps each day with his teammates. So I'm excited about that. I think that's one of the things that I look forward to is watching him continue to get better.
So that was probably my least favorite answer. Very defensive and, really didn't answer the question. You told me all offseason. I bought it. I was all in that he was going to be fine, that he looks good. He's getting better every single day. Maybe he is getting better every single day. But then then you're telling me that our expectations of where we think he should be is much lower if he's getting better every day. Look, I do believe he is getting better every day. And the same breath, I think we've been DJ has been criticized heavily on the timeline for his performance on Saturday. Look, we have bad days, and that's what I'm going to chalk it up to. I don't think there's enough data. Look, here's the thing, okay? In the beginning of this season, before we saw any football, there was a side that was praising DJ, Heisman favorite, phenom, etc. Okay, we were part of that club, that group. There's another group that was saying, "How can you say that he's this great in only 6 games? We haven't had enough. He hasn't done much. Blah 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 blah." Now we've had 2 games that haven't been the greatest. We still have 6 games where he looked much better than 2, and people are ready to sign off on him. Like it's not black and white like that. I don't think that there's nowhere near we're ready to sail this ship off into the sunset. Said that he's not what he was intended to be. I'm nowhere near that. He had a bad game. It is what it is. Let's move on. I know for a fact that he didn't lose that game. There was plenty of opportunities for us to stay in that game. Us not running the ball with Jaden Ball was 70% of it. But yeah, I mean, hey, shout out to Dave for pressing some good questions. And again, I would say articulating them in a way that asks what we want to say, but isn't aggressive, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was listening to that. Like, I went back and I listened to it, and I'm like, is it really him cutting him off, or is he just trying to talk like really fast? And then it got to like the second question, and I was like, yeah, he's totally cutting off Dave. He's annoyed. So, I mean, like at the end of the day, look, LIU, you wouldn't play them. Lagway, people were already talking about Lagway looking rusty anyway in that game. There was a lot of open guys he didn't hit. USF, same thing, a lot of open guys he didn't hit. And last year, you were seeing him hit those guys. You were seeing him get the ball out. You were seeing him throw it deep accurately to a receiver, not throwing it, timing off. It goes into a USF defender's hands, and it wasn't really actually an interception, but it counted as an interception. And that's just part of somebody that hasn't had a lot of fall camp, spring camp, hasn't had a lot of collaboration with your wide receivers, and you're going to get that. You're going to get a rusty DJ Lagway, and on top of that, look, like, he looks a lot slower when he runs. And I've had this conversation with people, and they say, well, he gained too much weight. He's got slower. Receivers gain weight all the time, and they don't lose a step. I mean, 10 pounds isn't going to slow you down that much. Me personally, I don't think he's all healthy in that leg, but that's just me. That's my opinion. But, at the end of the day, you're dealing with this issue. If Lagway goes out there and looks good against LSU and we wind up beating them, then everybody in Gator Nation is not worried that much anymore. And we're right back to square one from what we came from. But now when we go back and look at the end of the year, we're going to be like, how the heck did we lose to USF? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's called, like, I call it the roller coaster for a reason, because you have your ups and downs. You can never just get on a straight track.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that. I mean, Saturday could completely flip the script once again. I mean, this past Saturday flipped the script, and this Saturday every Saturday the script can flip dramatically. Look, I think that where my frustration comes into play was just the same mistakes that we've seen year over year bottle up once again. And again, I think he kind of nailed it on the head of like, look, we've built this process up until this point. We're not going to change it now. And I agree. I think you have built a process. Unfortunately, we're still seeing the same issues continue to occur. And that's where, again, there's a lot of doubt headed into Saturday. And I don't blame a lot of people. $2 from Nick. Does he make it to the Georgia game? I don't think so. Look, I think these next 2 games will decide a lot. I don't see.
If they keep playing like they're playing, he's not going to.
Yeah. I mean, if you have 2 more Saturdays like this past one, because the score would be a lot worse if they do play like these next 2 Saturdays, I don't see him making it to Georgia. But again, there's just so much unknown, man. I mean, these Saturdays, any given Saturday, anything can happen. There was obviously the AP, we got 10 minutes before Nick hops on, but I want to go over a couple of things. The AP drama that happened this weekend with that lady that came out and spoke about how she picks her teams. I'm sure anybody that has a pulse saw it, because she had Florida move up in her AP poll and USF not move, clearly stating that she didn't even watch the game or even took the breath to watch it. I mean, dude, I'm talking about anybody and everybody.
Wait, hold up. I didn't see this. This is an AP poll voter?
Oh my gosh, how'd you not see this?
I may have
Yeah,
saw
dude.
it, may have.
She
I've
was
had a week.
throttled. Her Twitter's I went to click on her Twitter. I was like, she's blocked everybody. It's all private now. It was just like a very like, yeah, like we have fun.
Dude.
We just pick our teams and that's why there's a lot of votes. That way it weighs itself out. And it's like, bro, we're over here sweating, putting our lives on the line here to talk about this list. And you come out and say that. A lot of reputability was shot this past weekend. But one thing that I've noticed this year, and I felt that going into it, was there's been a lot of parity, a lot of movement. I mean, teams are moving. It's like a stock market, man. And we're talking 10 spots, dropping 10 spots, up 15 spots. Like in all reality, USF should be a top 10 school. You beat a top 25 and then a top 30 and the number 13 ranked team. Bama beat the number 18, went all the way to number 13, then beat an unranked and went to top 10. You're justifying their schedule before it's even like Boise's not top 10 because of their schedule, not because of who they've beaten. The whole AP poll is in shambles, man. But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't see that. What do you laugh at?
Yeah, I love it when people just get jobs and they're very unqualified for it and they just pay them lots of money. It's awesome.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. We've got the injury report here. So out. Now, keep in mind, Cam did a great job of explaining this. Out doesn't mean they're out right away, I'm pretty sure. Now, I think maybe tomorrow, if they're still out, then they're out for certain. And then on Friday, questionable has to move to probable. And then on Saturday, it can be a game time decision. So your label has to change within a certain time. So if it's out tomorrow, then they are officially out. It's from my understanding. Correct?
So there's levels. No, yeah, I assume what he said was correct because I remember the format from last year, and I think they changed it a little bit this year. So I would go by what Cam said, but I know that like if somebody is out, like it has to be on that last availability report. Like it has to be there. Like you have to tell them we're out, and then they can't play. Like they cannot play if you saw
okay,
they're
that's
out.
what
Like,
it is. So if it's out now,
you can't sneak them in. You can't do anything like that, or it's against the rules. And then
questionable, you can be a game time. You can tease it, but out has to be. Okay.
Yeah, you can go questionable, probable, and then you can just take them off the report and just say that they're playing.
So notable names on here that are not on here that you mentioned were Caleb Banks and Brendan Bett is not on here. To remind you, out is not just injury related; it can be suspension related. So he is not suspended. According to this list, at least for this game. Dallas Wilson is still out. Again, that doesn't mean he's out yet. I would keep an eye on it. Well, if anything changes, if he moves this from out to probable, we'll probably have a show on it because it will be something definitely to watch. Scott Isaacs, would love to have him on the field just for good reasons. Obviously, great last name. Michael Caraway Jr. might be our new Asa Turner as he's a transfer that has not seen the football field since he's been here. Trayon Webb, we've heard about his injury in the beginning of the season. We know about that. LJ McCray with the surgery. That's no surprise there. Fletcher Westphal, I think he dealt with an injury as well. So that is no surprise. Yeah. So the big one is just Dallas Wilson. Still waiting on that one. We were told by multiple people that he would be back by this game. So that's a little concerning to me.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, though, like with the wide receiver unit that you have and the talent you have, you don't really need Wilson there on the field. But sure. it would be a nice omen for him to be out there on the field because he's a very talented receiver. We saw what he did in the spring game. But overall, I mean, the injury report compared to like last year's injury report, we were reading like a whole Christmas list of injuries. Like looks pretty good. Now I know it's just week 3, but of course you're missing LJ McCray, had that foot surgery. Westphal, I think he still got like a wrist injury or something like that, so he's out. And then of course Dallas Wilson with the ankle, the foot, whatever you want to call it. He was wearing a brace, I guess, last week or so. I don't know how close Wilson is to being healthy because I was hearing mixed things about that. So I guess we'll see as the further injury reports come out. But overall, I mean, you get Caleb Banks back, so that's a good thing right there, and that'll hopefully improve some of the pressure that the D-line has been getting on some of these offensive lines. But as I said, like LSU, they've replaced a lot on their offensive line, right? So are you going to get pressure? I mean, they held up pretty well against Clemson when they played them. I know Clemson got their pressures and they got all that too, but I'll be curious to see what happens, man, there in Baton Rouge. Of course, it's been a long, long time before we even won in that stadium. I think the last time we won was when Tim Tebow was there. So as far as like Billy's road record and then that history, it doesn't look good, but you never know. It's college football and anything could happen.
So the offensive line, Braylon Moore, he has a high ankle sprain, which could be something to watch for LSU. Again, he's questionable there. We'll kind of get into that more with the breakdown. Their O-line was something that was sus last year. It's very young this year. Like you said, it kind of, I mean, if you can get Nussmeier and dirt and muddy up that pocket, that's where he struggles. And that's where it excites me this game. I think we have an opportunity to make that pocket muddy once again. I think, look, I don't want to kind of give it away. Also, too, that tight end, Des Green is also a big component, kind of like Hayden Hansen, to their blocking scheme as well. So two big ones to keep an eye on there. Again, Kendrick Perkins we'll get into will be a big one. I want to talk about this here just for a moment. Again, a lot of former players voiced their opinion this past weekend. We had former players come on and give their opinions of the situation that's going down. A lot of, again, as life in general, a lot of mixed reviews and different opinions. Tyree Cleveland, former wide receiver, everybody keeps saying fire Billy, but if people really know how much it takes to turn a program around, they wouldn't say that at all. Some coaches blossom faster than others, and that's fine. Gator Nation, we're in good hands. It's all part of the process. Trust the process. Look, I mean, very, more of an optimistic take, and then I screenshotted Nick's take because it was Tyree Cleveland has been in Gainesville and around the program a bunch this fall. I liked that his take on that, just to kind of inform people of like, look, this isn't somebody just watching from afar stating this. It's somebody that's been around the program that is still trusting it and still buying in. And the positive that I liked about it is this tweet came out today, and I'm hoping that maybe he's been around the program the last couple of days and still feels like this team isn't quitting, and that's where this is coming from. The thing that I still look, I agree that it takes a long time to build a program. I don't think there's any question on the program that's been built. Even Shannon Snell said that yesterday. I think they've done a great job of building great men. Again, how they've handled themselves through the media. Shannon Snell was spot on with this. That isn't the issue. The talent composition isn't the issue. It's the management part. These are things that shouldn't take 4 years, right? Those are things that should be rocking and rolling already.
Maybe in the BCS era before the portal and everything else, it took a while to build a program. Now you have so much access to the portal, NIL. I've seen coaches come in and within a program and turn them around in years 1 and 2. So I'm not buying the excuse, it takes a while. It doesn't take a long time. It depends on what your buy-in is from your boosters and how much they're willing to invest and get into the portal, get some guys in there, get people in recruiting. Now, maybe it takes a couple of years, but like by year 4, your program should be running on all cylinders. I'm through with that excuse. Like, it takes a while. Give him some time. We've given him enough time. Like, he's had enough time. This is his roster. And it's not like he has a bad roster, dude. I mean, there's weapons and there's players that came back this year that were sack leaders on your team that won all sorts of awards that are on your O-line, your D-line, and you've got all these wide receivers. And you get I'm done. I'm done with those excuses, dude. You have a roster to compete with the best in the nation right now. And there's no excuse you should be losing to USF. There's no excuse you should be losing to any of those teams. The time is now. And I hate hearing, it takes a minute. It does not. Yeah, Kirby Smart came into Georgia and literally was in a national championship game his second year. I mean, come on, dude.
We're over here. And Uncle Lou, I've been thinking about y'all. Hope you're okay. I'm thinking about you too, Lou. Appreciate you checking in on us. I agree. I think that there's been plenty of time to turn this thing around. I mean, again, nice take to go over as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Marlor is going to join the show here. We're going to drop off Dave for the moment while Chris and I preview this LSU-Florida game. We're going to get his perspective, and then we'll bring Chris. Got 15 minutes, and then we'll rock and roll. Chris, good to see you, my man. Appreciate you.
You too. How are you?
Us here today. I'm doing well, man.
Sorry, I think it's a lag here. Yeah, man, I'm excited to do the show. I thought this was going to be you yelling at me.
I mean, no, I'm not a yeller. I can get a bit aggressive. Look, you had your take, your article about DJ Lagway. Right now, I mean, you're holding on to some feathers here. I give you that for sure. But I mean, I got nothing to yell at.
I would want to ask an honest question, and I'm not saying this as an argument because I think if people read the article, I think that they would have realized what I was also saying. Did you read the article?
I read bits and pieces of it.
The graphic was a horrifying, terrible mistake on my end. I was fully to blame for that. Should have put a question mark. Probably shouldn't have put the American flag in the background. Also, just as well as I do work in this business, sometimes you're tasked with an article or an assignment to do. But it was my main point was just, man, like we just don't have as much stuff on Lagway. I think he's the most likable player in the country. I really love like his upside. I can't say enough positive things about him, but we were talking about him in the offseason like he was like a top 5 player overall, and I still think he's good enough to get there. I really do. But like based on what we had saw, it was like the Arch Manning thing, and Arch Manning was way worse, and I thought that was like as egregious. I think he's played much better than people give him credit for, but it was a tough 48 hours, bro. It was a tough 48 hours for social media there.
I could imagine. So look, for me, and I don't want to dwell on it too much because again, I wasn't too. I didn't take it that seriously. The only thing that I stepped in genuinely that kind of irritated me was the screenshot. And again, I understand how it looked. I get it now, but in the moment, it looked like it was manipulating one of my guys.
Oh yeah,
that was the only thing that upset me. The overrated thing, like I understand how this world works. I don't like. Yeah. My feelings weren't hurt on that. I got what you're like. You got interactions. The heat was expected. Like that's the game. And sometimes it's a little more than what we want. But and it doesn't matter what the article says because the graphic said one thing and it
right.
That's just the world. I did not care. Like I have my take on it, but I would like from a person genuinely hating you. No, my thing that irritated me, and you saw my stance. That was the only thing where I was like, hey. This is where I draw the line. And that's why I stepped in.
Totally forgot about that. And I think that was like a massive misunderstanding. I don't remember the ins and outs of it, but I do remember it being like a pretty big miscommunication or something along the lines of where I think I might have been in the wrong. I think I might have said something because I assumed something was changed, but this was not like, I don't remember the ins and outs. We don't, like you said, we don't have to dwell on anything like that. But like, I have nothing but love for DJ Lagway. I really do think just coming into the show, like, I think he represents everything that's great about what we want to love about college football. And that's the main thing I'll say about him. Him staying under the Napier stuff and him staying in Gainesville and staying committed. Like it's so incredible in this day and age of sports and college football. It's been awesome to watch.
No question. And look, I mean, in a world that everybody was pumping up the DJ train, there was a side to counter it and to question it. Like again, I didn't agree with your take at the time, and I was like, I said it was dumb. I thought it was dumb. I still think that it has potential to be dumb. That doesn't mean I don't care about who you are as a person. I was like, guy's out here croaking. Actually, Brandon gave me a call. Was like, he said he's good. I was like, bro, I got no beef with the guy. I don't know the guy from Adam. And that's why
Brandon told you that.
Yeah, he says he's a good guy. I mean, you guys have a real group chat, chit chat. You guys are all love.
Brandon, Brandon. I want him to be. He is so good at what he does because he is so good at being able to get under your skin. And then afterwards, like we were having a whole conversation with this on Sunday, and everyone was trying to get under his skin. And he just sat there and just watched, just took the whole thing in stride. I was like, God, that's good. That's the good stuff, Brandon. He's a good dude.
He's a stud, yeah. But look, this world, man, I enjoy it. I get in with Uncle Lou. Like I understand there's a line, and that was the only thing I stepped in was like, hey, this felt like a line was being crossed. That's why I stepped in.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I don't shy away from nothing. That's why when somebody tagged Joe, I was like, let's rock. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped that you said yes, and I'm excited to get your thoughts on this game, man. After this past Saturday, how do you think this thing shapes up? How are you feeling for the Tigers?
So let's have an honest conversation about South Florida, because I covered Bama for the last 2 years. I think that fan base would tell you for a while now. This is they play some teams pretty tough. Like they're not Ohio State. They're not even Boise State. Well, they are now, I guess, because they beat the crap out of them in the first game of the year. But I mean, like. This is a good team, and I think that was always going to be a tougher game than people gave it credit for. I think looking at LSU, and specifically at LSU with this game, there's some question marks here. Trey's Green's out, or he's listed as questionable. I think he's out, just given from what we'd heard throughout the week being down here. Braylon Moore being day-to-day and practicing already, that was a pretty big surprise to the media, I think, on Tuesday, but he's practiced Tuesday and Wednesday. That's a high ankle sprain, which just as well as I do, that doesn't go away. So it's like, tape it up, figure it out, and go. I think the interesting thing about this game is anybody expecting Florida to be what they were last week is wrong. You're in for a long night because there's still a lot of talent here. There's still a lot of talent here on the team in places that win you ball games. And that is in the trenches, that is at the skill position, and that's a quarterback. And so I think this game plays out early on. I think it plays out a lot like that Tennessee game last year, where it's close, back and forth. I do love this LSU team, and I think there's a lot of question marks still on offense. But I think the thing that separates them this year versus last year is the defense, I think, is legit. The defense is, you saw it in fall camp, going out there a lot. The defense is legit. It's got dudes. They're playing so much faster, dude. They're playing so much faster than a year ago. They look a lot better.
Yeah, I think that was something we definitely noticed in that Clemson game was the defense, and that was a big struggle for them. My question, and I think where Florida has to capitalize, and we're going to break it down more, I'm going to get your side, but is that O-line. And when I saw the center was questionable, again, a very young line as it is, a line that I saw some reports that was struggling earlier in the preseason camp, but then you had Kelly come out and say it's the best O-line we've had, and I think it held up for the most parts against Clemson, but now there's question marks on Clemson. How are you feeling about that line going into Saturday?
Yeah, it's so weird because didn't it feel like in week 1 we thought we knew so many things, and then week 2 it's not like, do we know anything?
Still playing the question game, still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, well, and I think part of that a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's like this preconceived bias and this notion that like we really do want to be right, we want to know what we think we already know, and all those things. I think that when you look at this team, the offensive line especially, they are ripe for some issues. And like I thought Clemson was the best team on paper going into the season. Like that defense having four or five guys that were projected to be first round picks. Like, you can call me stupid if you want. I'm looking at this and I'm like, dude, they got dudes everywhere. What is this? You remember the Florida game last year? That LSU offensive line gave up 15 sacks in the year. Half of them came against this team. Yeah. So I think that's a really, really valid question. I think the other part of it too is I don't know if that necessarily goes away with 5 new offensive linemen. I think that it's not just the dudes that Florida has that's going to pose a problem. I think it's the schematic way they're going to go about trying to get pressure on Nussmeier. And if we're being honest, defense has been great. Offensive line's been better than we thought. Run game hasn't been great, but better than we thought. There's a lot of positive things to say about LSU through 2 weeks, even with the lackluster performance. You know who hasn't really been the guy we thought he was going to be is kind of Nussmeier, if we're being honest. Like, with the receivers that he has, 6.1 or 5.9 yards per attempt is not – I mean, that's crazy to me that it would be that low.
I was going to ask my next question because I know he had the knee scare, the knee gate, if you will, that occurred. I heard Kelly say it was like a patella thing. Is that something you think? I mean, we were having it with DJ about possibly slowing down a little bit. Do you think he's fighting through that, or is he just got to take a poop like Arch does? And sorry,
that was the weirdest thing ever. Yeah. Great reference there. No, I thought the DJ thing was blown so far out of proportion too, because it's like unrelated. That immediately became this narrative like he's injury prone. It's like, no, he's playing football. And also, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure you played sports. Like, a calf strain in the dead of summer when you're like running as much as you are and going through all these explosive drills and whatever else, like. I thought it got blown out of proportion. The knee thing with Nuss has been an issue for a while. I don't think it was as big of a deal as they made it out to be, because the media wasn't even there for practice that day. It was just like all of a sudden it was everywhere. Yeah. I don't think he's battling through that, man. I think that they are trying to figure out ways to get everybody involved. And right now I think he's kind of sticking to his guns on who can I trust in this offense. And for the most part, it's Aaron Anderson. And that's a familiar face from last year. He was really good. I think he's a returning leading receiver. Had over 800-something yards. But, dude, they got 3 20-plus yard receptions on the year, which is second to last in the SEC. I made the mistake of bringing that up to Brian Kelly. He did not appreciate it. And like, all 3 have gone to Anderson. So, you know, I think there's some concerns there. I don't think it's a health-related thing, but I do think that there's, like, just something off right now in terms of the offense gelling as much as we thought it would.
I think you make a good point of it's just trying to find that identity, because last year you didn't run the ball as effective as I think you could have because of that offensive line, which put Gus into a situation where he had to sling it, which ultimately turned into turnovers as well. But you saw his ability to throw the ball. And when you're throwing the ball 40-plus times a game, almost playing catch-up, you can kind of find a bit of a rhythm, and maybe he hasn't found that rhythm yet. And so we'll see. Question from Army Sniper, $10. What does Chris think about Napier retaining play calling? All other elite coaches have passed the torch to other coordinators. I think it's a little bit of a troll question, but I appreciate your take on it.
I just want Billy Napier to do things that are going to make his life easier. And maybe he thinks this is what they have to do to win games. Listen, we were all here a year ago, and everyone thought that the sky was falling. I've been in the camp, and I've never thought Billy Napier got a fair shake. We were talking about the 2024 season and his schedule in 2024 in the summer of 2023. And it felt like this whole thing, everyone's expected him to be on the hot seat. And what we saw last year probably should have met with a parade, and it was met with even higher expectations. It's only game 2. I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't mean that in a negative way. I really don't.
No, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, and now you look at it, it's like, God dang, dude, they play 4 top 10 teams in the next 6 games. The only unranked team they play in the next 6 games is the team that just beat Arizona State. So, like, the schedule sucks. I jokingly say this all the time. I feel like if you told me Kirby Smart made it, I would not believe you. But giving up the play calling, I don't know if he should or not, because I don't know who else would be in charge of that. And I don't know if that is a white flag that he is waving. Part of me really loves the fact that this dude is like, you know what? You guys doubted me in the fan base, in the media, in the national media the entire time last year. We turned it around then. Like, no, man, stick to your guns. It worked last year. It's worked before. Like, it sucks that they lost last week, but I mean, dude, stick to your guns. It's what brought you here. It's what still has you here. Like, I kind of respect it.
I want to get 2 more questions because I know you got a rip, and I appreciate you tuning in, man. This has been awesome. It's just score prediction is going to be the easy one, but Brian Kelly kind of took Brian Kelly's personality is a weird one. All right. And I think that all coaches got to be a little bit of goober. That's just makes him tick a little bit. But when asked about Napier, he's like, oh, I love the guy. It felt very like, please keep him. We love playing him even though he lost to him last year. It was like, that guy's a good guy. It's a hard thing. It just doesn't seem genuine at all. Like he last week he's roasting Paul Feinbaum and Dabo, and this week he's tapping Billy on the back. I just don't believe it.
That was me that asked the question about Dabo.
Oh, perfect.
So I will say I think
do you think he's trolling? Was what I'm getting at, or do you think that he?
No, I really don't think he was. I mean, my fiance's coming in to show me something. Sorry, and I have ADD, so we're all over the place here. I don't think he was. I think that Brian Kelly gets a ton of hate, and I get SEC fans are going to hate everybody, but I feel like everything outside the building, and maybe I'm just a bad judge of character. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he's anywhere close to being as disingenuous as people think outside the building. What he said, it kind of surprised me because he ran with it, right? But he is, if you meet him in person, man, he's a very likable and funny and charismatic dude. And when he said, it felt, to me at least, more so like, there might have been a tinge of what you're saying. It might have been a tinge of like, no, keep that guy around. But at the same time, it also very much felt like, listen, like the expectations of this dude have been very, very high and a little bit unreasonable if we're being honest. And that's coming from somebody that's kind of facing the same thing. I mean, he talked about it in the answer. If you watch the whole thing, he brought up, he's like, sometimes like things take time. Coach O was in here. You don't think Coach O made a different type of approach to things? Like, Coach O had his girlfriend's kids out there running routes during practice. Like, that's a real thing that was happening in the walls of that practice facility. Brian Kelly's handling things differently. I think that he's looking at this from a standpoint of the expectations I get sometimes are unfair. What they're giving to Billy Napier is probably a little bit unreasonable and unfair too. And it almost felt more like he was trying to stick up for that in a weird, not misguided, but in a weird type of way.
I mean, look, I think there's a little narcissism there. He probably was more so trying to defend himself.
Yes, that's a good point.
He was just.
If we had a therapist to come on the show and break it down, I feel like he would have said exactly what you just said.
Yeah, like he's trying to be nice, but in the same breath, like, it's tough. Take it easy on me, all right?
Right.
I love it. Score prediction, man, for Saturday. You said slow start, but what do you think?
I don't even know if it's a slow start, man. I think it's a very competitive game. I probably misconstrued that because of the Tennessee way that game started last year, but I think it's a very tight game at first. I just believe too much in this offense, this defense for LSU. I think it's tight, back and forth. I think Billy Napier's going to have some up his sleeve in the first quarter when they're on script. But I also think that over time, I think the one thing that the biggest strength of this team has been the secondary for LSU. And I think being on the road with Lagway, like, it's going to be a little bit different environment. And the biggest thing, man, I think that there's just a chip on their shoulder right now that there are not, like, they looked bad last week, but that Clemson game was something they had circled for months. Then you have this sandwich game against La Tech, and now you get Florida coming back to town. There's going to be a lot of people amped up for that. Final score, I'm going to say LSU 30, Florida 20 or 21.
Okay. Big pull away at the end there, which is kind of in typical fashion. Yeah. Look, I love it. Fantastic takes, man. I appreciate you tuning in. This was great. I think getting your insights and hearing just kind of the different nuances is great because we see it from our side. But and I talked to a lot of guys close to the Gator program, but this has actually been really cool and very insightful. So love to have you back on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This was a blast, and all is good, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate the kind words, dude. I've watched your show before and really, really enjoy what you do. I think it's a great job, and I also love the background setup. It's a lot cooler than what I've got going on over here, which you can't even see. It's just one bookshelf. So
got to start somewhere.
Appreciate the work, man. That's right.
Man. All right, man. Be good. Go
See
get
you,
it. Later, man. All right, Swatter, get back in here, big fella. Let's continue on with Swatter left. Swatter's like, I've had enough. I'm not even gonna tune in for that. Well, we'll get Swatter in here, break down our perspective of the game. I thought that was a great analysis there from Chris. Obviously, you heard him there. He covers LSU very closely. Was there today asking Brian Kelly great questions. So, love that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna have Locked On Canes next week to get that perspective, and we're gonna do a really good job trying to get more insiders from those teams to give us their perspective. I think it gave a very healthy take on the game on Saturday, and I don't disagree with some of the things that he said. Let's get Davey on in here, see how he feels about this game going into Saturday. Swoldy, big guy.
There I am.
What did you think of his takes, man?
I don't know. I was using the restroom. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I think this game is obviously Florida's like in week 3 and their backs are already against the wall. Like, I'm tired of our backs being against the wall when we play a certain opponent. I wish their backs were against the wall. But Florida's backs are against the wall in this game. I agree with everything that he said. I think Florida can take advantage of the O-line and some of the not really the deficiencies, but I guess the newness on the O-line there. As I said, LSU did a pretty good job against Clemson. It was actually pretty impressive considering defensive line that, Clemson has with Peter Woods and some of the other guys. Quarterback-wise, Nuss, I haven't really been impressed with him so far this season and what he's done. But also I can say DJ Lagway, I haven't really been impressed in anything that he's done in this game. So I think here something has to give, right? Will it be defensively? Will it be offensively? I don't know. You get Caleb Banks back. That's going to help out on the D-line there. You got just the same receivers you played last week. You got Jaden Ball running the rock. I believe in that, and I think you should run Jalen Ball early in this game. But at the same time, like I don't know, man. I think I think honestly, on paper, the teams are matched up pretty good. Like I think it's pretty equal. I did see the spread. The spread went down like 2 points today too. It was 9.5 or 9. Now it's down to 7.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know who the odds makers are on that and why they did. I don't know if they saw an injury report or they saw something that we didn't see. So, or maybe just a lot of bets flew in for Florida and they're thinking maybe I can make some money and maybe they pull off the upset here. But it is in Baton Rouge, as I said. The last time we won in there was a long time ago. So it's going to be very difficult in that stadium. I think I don't know, man. I think DJ Lagway, this is the game that, he gets slapped in the face a little bit. He's going to take some hits. He's probably going to take some sacks, whatever. But I think now, having that USF loss, having that players meeting, something's got to give there, right? And I think Florida can pull off the victory, but I think it's going to be really hard. I like it. Baton Rouge is just a place that is really hard to get the hell out of with a victory.
You go back to last year, we took them down 27-16. We didn't do anything crazy. The biggest thing was, I would say, is we took care of the ball. No interceptions. DJ was 13 for 26 for 226 yards. You're not writing home about that. Jaden Ball was 6 for 65, and Jacoby was 6 for 37. And Montrell was 2 for 14. We didn't run the ball. We had 113 yards rushing. We weren't explosive in any asset of the game. What we did is what we kind of did on Saturday is we shut them down defensively, but we just were able to put up a few more, and we had that big breakout run by, I think it was Ball at the end of the game that separated it, because at this point it was a close one. It was a nail-biter all the way up into the end, and we pulled away, if we all remember. And I think this game has the pieces and the fixture to roll the same way, if you will. The things that I'm concerned about, and I don't know, is how is this team mindset going to be? Is it going to go in there and just be deflated like it was at Texas after Georgia when DJ went down, when you could just tell nobody wanted to be there? I mean, we didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
He mentioned Chris him about this defense, the secondary being much better. I don't think that concerns us too much because I don't feel like that's been our strength. It's gonna be running the ball and then attacking their offensive line. 7 sacks last year was massive. We haven't had any sacks this year. I think that our defense has been playing more of a mobile quarterback and an up-tempo offense is reason for that. Not a good excuse, but I think that That's why this offense will play more into it, and it played into it last year a little bit as well. With Caleb Banks coming back, we'll get more pressure, maybe more freshness in that interior defensive line. If Kelly watched any film last week, it's going to be up-tempo. I'm going to be interested to see if they try to get them to up-tempo at home in your own stadium. You can get away with a few things. You can get away with kind of maybe going outside the box and getting a little crazy, because those big plays can cause for your audience to be involved. And you want, when you're in Death Valley, for those fans to get involved quickly and early on. What I would like to see from DJ is very J.J. McCarthy-esque, what we saw on Monday Night Football with the Vikings. There was just a lethargic movement to this Vikings offense. I was like, these guys are cooked. I was thrashing JJ. I was like, this guy is not ready to go. And then a switch just flipped. This guy's been a champion forever. He's went out at every single level. Went into the huddle to Aaron Jones said this on the podcast. I saw it on Pat McAfee. Goes in, he goes, where else did you guys want to be? All right, let's get after it. And he goes out there. That mindset is what DJ has to do. It's like, where else are we going to be, boys? What else do you want to be doing on Saturday night? Lock it in. And maybe, him getting whacked around and popped a bit, maybe good. Get some game in you. Get a little dirt on you. Put some ice paint on. Let's go in war, baby. We haven't really, yes, USF punches us in the mouth in the sense of the game, but I never really felt like we were out of control. We just kind of like teeter-tattered back and forth and then just like gave up at the end, right? Nobody really came and just punched us. Maybe a big whack might wake everybody up. And on the other side of the ball, too, there's going to be some high animosity with the Jack Pyburn situation on that side of the ball. Errol Perkins is going to be a big one to keep an eye out. They moved into that nickel star position. He is able to fly all over the field. Very Caleb Downs-esque like now. Love that kid to death. I'm not going to love him on Saturday, but he is so electric and so fun to watch. That is going to be something that I want to know what Billy does. What are we going to do to manage that threat on the outside? So that'll be something to keep an eye on as well. Typically, we play LSU later in the season, right? Where the guys are a little bit beat up, we're wore down a little bit. We've seen some things, but everyone's fresh. And to be honest with you, though, we don't know much about any team, because I don't feel like you've seen the best out of both of them. If anything, you saw the most out of LSU because they had to dig deep against Clemson. But I agree, on paper, we match up. I truly don't believe we've seen our full potential. I said it last year when we were down 1-2 against Miami and A&M, and I was right on that. Just a little, a dollar late and a dollar short on it, but we were right on it, right? We saw it click in that UCF game. Tennessee, we should have won that one. Georgia, we had the DJ situation, but we found a rhythm for sure. So, look, I'm not being facetious here. I think his score prediction, I 38-21 isn't a horrible one, because I think he thinks it, like he said, it'll be close and then LSU pulls away. I like Florida. Look, I'm going to take the boys. You already knew that. You already know this. They got to hold LSU to 20. Okay, that's going to be my take on it. I think Florida puts up 24. I think 24-20. It's going to be a close one. I do believe that, and I think that the defense will continue to do what they've been doing all season. And Garrett hasn't looked great. I think they're going to try to run the ball. I think they're going to have some success. You have to understand, when you play teams, they're going to do what they're good at, right? Like Byron Brown, like he was going to have a big play. He was going to spin. Like those things are expected. They have a pulse on the other side of the ball. You just can't let it get out of hand. And so I think that's where Florida can capitalize. We'll just see where they're at mentally, and if Billy, pulls his head out of his ass, if you will.
Yeah, this game's very interesting. Like over the years, like usually Florida and LSU, they play each other really close. There is hardly any blowouts between Florida and LSU when they play. You go back to last year, 27-16, year before 35-52, 35-45, 42-49, 34-37, 28-42, 27-19, 16-17, 16-10. I could go down the whole list, but like the Florida LSU game is always an interesting game because it's always back and forth, and it really to me, it's like it doesn't matter how bad some of these certain teams are. They always are up for this game, and this game is always close, and it's always like a nail biter till the end. And I went to the game last year, and everybody remembers the Jason Marshall interception that got called back because Gervon Dexter roughed the passer. That was still a close game. Florida actually came back in that game and almost won that game, and that would have been a game-saving interception, or at least you hoped that would have been. In this scenario, like the way that Florida's been playing offensively, defensively, missing tackles, all that other kind of stuff, like to me, I think LSU is going to run away with the game. I would pick LSU right now, but considering the history of this game and how close that this game has always been every time that they've played, it's kind of, I mean, and even the spread has went down to like 7.5 points, and Vegas usually is pretty correct for the most part. Sometimes they're not, like last week, but I mean,
I think they were right. I think they were right. They were still, I mean, they've got Miami favored by 18 this week. They're right about that. They're rarely that wrong. I mean, something catastrophic has to happen, and I think that's what happened last week, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was just a cluster, you know what. But I think it'll be close, but I think I'm kind of with Marler on this one. It's probably going to pull away because of what I've seen the past 2 weeks. Now, if Florida can go in there and prove me wrong and punch them in the mouth, punch them in the teeth, I'm going to think, man, this team bounced back and they're revamped, and maybe they can take on the rest of the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hell of a matchup. I think you're spot on. If they can show some life here, you feel a lot more optimistic headed into the rest of the season for sure. I think Miami will be your next tough match. I think they're going to look really good, especially after that. I think they steamroll USF this weekend. I think that'll put more emphasis on that game. But I missed a super chat from Ira Jones. $5. If we beat LSU and USF beats the Sucker Canes, then what? I like Billy Napier as a man, but damn, if he needs a killer instinct, I mean, look, Chris kind of led to the, hey, this USF team can be tricky. I believe that. I'm not taking anything away from them. If they take down the Canes, I mean, yeah, you're having a whole different, I mean, it does change the conversation a little bit. I think it would. But I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens.
It would be funny. It would be funny.
Look, disclaimer real quick. Don't listen to Shelton's take with the actual cash. Yeah, look, I've told you boys, I'm an emotional bettor. That's why the boss comes on. If he wants to be on the show, hey, is he ghosting us? I just texted him. We want to try to give him a call here while I read these super chats. It's just the boss show. He just does whatever he wants now. It's unbelievable.
I'll give him a call.
We got $2. Michael Johnson. Kirby took over a 10-win team. He did. Nick, I'm taking a shot per bubble screen on Saturday. That could be a rough one, Nick. Could be a long Saturday if that were the case, if you were able to do that. While he calls the boss, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors for today. Shout out to Daikin for one, not giving us these sweet cups and mugs, but also for allowing us to have an awesome unit in the garage to keep things cool this season while we have our incredible watch parties. Give our guys at best value a call at 386-677-6055 to get yourself a little hookup, a little what's it called, a mini unit? I forgot. Little AC unit hooked up in your fridge, all right, or in your garage. I'm telling you, that thing cooks, boys. I feel we love it. We hang out in there all the time, not just for game days. We've got the golf sim in there. Little man loves playing golf. It's awesome. If you're trying to expand on a room, buying a new house ain't easy, boys. Expanding a room, easy with best value, and of course, Daikin. Cheers.
He said he's trying to connect, and it said it's ringing, and it's not letting him in. Is he here now?
Interesting.
Does he got the right link?
I don't know. I haven't changed it. Oh! Now it works. Oh my god.
Who?
Oh. God.
What does it say?
Hold on. Yeah.
I am sad.
All of us, Bows. All of us, Bows. You
what are you sad about, Mike?
Hey guys, what's up?
You ready to go? Hey, you ready to go?
I'm ready. Look, I got my Napier shirt. I don't know how many people have one of these, but like, I have the shirt. Like, I'm a supporter. I was a supporter. I don't know where I'm at right now, but what a week. I don't
have a Napier shirt. Well, I do have the hoodie. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Never mind. I can't wait to get to the whiteboard. Listen.
There you go.
Listen. I realized last week I cooked. I cooked in my terms. Hell of a comeback for the kid, okay? And I go, at what cost? At what cost did I cook? And I just see the updated score, and I'm only down 2 when I was out. Yeah, the kid's back, boys, and I'm feeling even better about this week. Let the wheels turn, and I'm just an Iowa coach away from not being a complete dumbass, from being one more win. because we pushed, right?
Yeah, that was a push. That one was a push. Yeah.
Oh my! I thought it was 3.5, bro. I was like, oh
No.
please. I knew that it was.
Yeah.
I looked it up, but man, I hit the Syracuse bet. I hit the not the Syracuse. Did I hit Syracuse? No, I hit I hit Baylor. I hit I don't remember. I hit a couple good ones that I was fired up about, and I almost had Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were 3-3. You had Illinois. You hit Illinois, Baylor, and Oklahoma.
That's right, man. I hit all 5 of them. 6.
Yeah.
I'm leading right now.
What's the score update? Let them know.
But it's easy to hit the game shot when you're betting on 2 or 3 different shows, all different teams. But anyways, you were 3-3.
Whoa. I don't keep score. I didn't get any credit over there. All right. My scores count here.
Okay.
So that's irrelevant.
Yes, sir. Yes, boss. All right. You were 3-3. Swolder was 2-4.
What?
And unfortunately, the Boz was 1-5. So yeah. So the whiteboard, yeah. I'm in first place with a 7-11 record, which is pathetic, and Dave is 6-12, and Shelton's 5-13.
It's
so
a thinking we were in contract negotiations last week. You walked into my office like you were 18-0. You know what I mean? I mean, just the kahunas on this guy. Like he was asking for an extension with this kind of performance. Like it's unbelievable.
Hey,
you're shopping around.
I was definitely humbled.
Yeah,
I was humbled. I think. Well, look, you threw me off. You called me a twat muffin. It just threw me off. I didn't know what to do. You called me a twat muffin. You put my job is up on X as auction. Like people are bidding on it, and then I'm just in shambles. And then I have to go to the game and watch watch Billy do Billy things, and it's just a complete disaster.
No.
Disaster.
I called you a twat muffin in love on another show. Then you threatened to leave. It wasn't me putting your job up for auction. You threatened to leave. And I was like, the door's over there. I'm not, I mean,
You
what
need
would we
to
do?
leave.
And then you go, all right, I'm out. And I go, okay, bet. And then I posted on on X. I go, let's see if there's any openings here.
You need to leave.
That was crazy how that escalated. But I mean, I actually did see, I saw Nick and Dan at the tailgate. We were talking a little bit, but anyways, I love you guys. I'm not going anywhere, but I got to do better than last week. So let's try to, your listeners at this point, please fade us for now. Cause we're all not doing very well.
Yeah, I even bought your lottery ticket, and I had to cheer against it because I had my Baylor pick going, so it didn't work. That was a weird day for me.
Yeah. All right,
boys.
Let's get to it.
400 strong. Be sure to smash it, like it, love it. We got a quick super chat from Jeremy. He says $5 to the jump on the Uber train for the professor and Steve if they booze up on Saturday. Anything like last week? Go Gators. Yeah, last week was a boozy one. All right, we got Ole Miss, Arkansas. Arkansas +7. Interesting matchup. That Ole Miss Kentucky game I think didn't go like we thought it would. But does Ole Miss get rolling here in week 3? Oz?
I'm first. Okay. I'm going to put the Gator hat on here.
I love that.
What do you think of that? Yeah, thank you. All right. Arkansas. Oh, shit. My old man glasses. I'm sorry. I got to take the cool glasses off. I can't read.
Sure.
All right, there we go. So, series history in this game, Arkansas leads 37-31, but that was back in the day when Arkansas was powerhouse. Ole Miss has won 5 out of the last 7. Ole Miss won last year 63-31. Taylon Green. I don't know if you guys know about the start he's off to. 41 for 57, 72%, 10 touchdowns and 2 picks in 2 games. Plus, he's running the ball for 18 for 192 at 11-yard average plus a touchdown. So this guy's got almost 775 yards of offense in 2 games. So this guy's a stud. Of course, Austin Simmons is Swolder's guy and mine too, but he's off to a slow start. 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. They got Kejuan Lacey, running back, transfer from Missouri. He's off to a great start. 246 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2 games. Ole Miss is 1-1 against the spread. Arkansas 1-1 against the spread. Ole Miss beat Georgia State and Kentucky last week, was my best bet. And guys, if you did follow my best bet last week, I put it in at Kentucky -8, but it was -10 at the game time, or when we did our picks. Yeah. Kentucky was up 30-20 with a minute left, and then Kentucky kicked a field goal with 8 seconds left to make the spread. It ruined my bet, so I apologize. That's what you got to deal with.
Those are
8
bad games.
seconds. Yeah,
That's
it's
how it
kind of a
happens.
meaningless. Yeah, and then of course Arkansas has only played Alabama A&M and Arkansas State, and they smoked both of them. I'm gonna keep rolling with Ole Miss. I'm scared of Taylor Green, but Ole Miss hotty toddy at home. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss minus. Is it 7? Minus 6.5, 7,
7.
7.5? What you got?
Here
All
comes the
right, minus
comeback,
7.
boys. Give me the old Razorbacks and put old Lane in his choo-choo train, baby. Taylor Green for 100 yards on the ground, 250 in the air, couple picks from Austin Simmons. I like it. Even if Ole Miss squeaks it out, I like the 7 points all day. Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to give Arkansas 7 points, and I saw how Ole Miss struggled against Kentucky last week, and or the week before, or wherever they play Kentucky. I'm picking Arkansas with points.
Clemson, Georgia Tech. I think Vegas feels the same way I feel about this one. You think Clemson should rock and roll, but Clemson hasn't given you any reason to rock and roll. Georgia Tech, they look like they did last year, but
Yeah, they
better.
do.
They look more prime. They look more prepared to take down some teams. They are a tough, gritty football team, and very similar. I mean, you saw that LSU Clemson matchup. That was a very tight knit football game that LSU was able to pull the end. I think Clemson makes this game muddier, or excuse me, Georgia Tech makes this game muddier, tighter, and they've showed us to pull off the close ones. I like the grittiness of this team. I wish I could get more points. I think I deserve more points here. I'm going out on a limb. I think it should be like 5.5, 6, but I'll take the 3 because I like Georgia Tech straight up, my boy. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to go. Believe a lot in Georgia Tech, but I'm going to go Clemson here. And I know Clemson struggled against Troy last week, pulled it off. There's just something different about that Clemson D line. I have to pick Clemson in this game, but I think Georgia Tech can pull it off too. But I'm going to go Clemson.
Yeah, this is so some series history in this game. They played 89 times. Georgia Tech leads the series 51-36 and 2. Clemson's won 9 straight and 12 out of 14. The last time they played 2 years ago, Clemson won 42-21. But I think we're seeing that Clemson isn't what we thought they would be. I think Kansas State is the same, Shelton, that we've talked about. Clemson also had high hopes coming into the year. Klubnik is 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 60%. Not off to a good start. Haynes King is the key here. He was injured last week. They said that he's been practicing, and as long as Haynes King plays, he played the one game. He threw for only 140, but he ran for 160. So in the running game, they have Jamal Haynes 157, Haynes King 156, Malachi Hosley 147. So as long as Georgia Tech can run the ball and Haynes King is healthy, I'm going to go with Georgia Tech plus 3.5.
I might want to change my pick. Can I change?
Hey, you're the host. You can do what you want. Yeah. You want to fade me every game? Go ahead.
I kind of want to go Oppo here. Because I didn't feel good about it in the first place. I'll stick with it. All right. Damn it. I thought for sure you were going Clemson. All right, we got Dogs versus Tennessee.
No.
Swolder.
They haven't done anything so far.
All right, Georgia versus Tennessee. So I have a bone to pick with Uncle Lou here because I see him in the chat. And I've watched Gunnar Stockton play 2 games against Austin Peay, some nobodies, and he looks like the best running back on the field. He really does. He can really run the football. Joey Aguilar didn't believe in much in him before the season. He's impressed me so far. They've played some nobodies too, but they've put up a lot of points. Thomas, the running back's looking pretty good over there too. Some of their receivers are looking good. I'm going with Tennessee, upsetting Georgia.
Bose?
Yeah, this was a tough one. I went back and forth. This is a great game. Georgia leads the series overall 28-23. Georgia's won the last 8 in a row and 13 out of the last 15. And in the 8-game winning streak, they've won every game by 2 touchdowns or more. So complete dominance. Stockton, Gunnar Stockton, he's off to an okay start, I guess. Nate Frazier's running the ball. Joey Aguilar is the big supporter. 66%, 535 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Tennessee's played Syracuse, which you guys remember that game. So that was a good win. But then they beat East Tennessee State University 72-17. Georgia's played Marshall 45-7 and Austin P. Funny thing about Austin P, I went to the DeLand basketball game last year, and they played for the conference championship, and Stetson won it, and they made it to the conference tournament for the first time ever. The fans, their chant is "Let's go P," and they kept "Let's go P, let's go." I thought it was a funny chant. But in that game, remember Georgia only led 14-3 at halftime. Smolder was ready to bet the house on Austin P. Georgia's 0-2 against the spread. Tennessee's 2-0 against the spread. I don't like either of these teams, but based on these trends, I'm going with Tennessee at home plus 3.5. That they could lose by a field goal and still cover. So give me Rocky flop.
I like all those takes there. And there's something Georgia has been historically bad, I feel like, the last 2 years against the spread. But typically, Georgia's favored by like 7 or 8 or 11. 3.5 isn't anything crazy. Tennessee has looked, I mean, I jumped on the train that they weren't going to look good, but then I kind of backed off a little bit. Like, look, Nico wasn't that fantastic. They've got a pretty good system there. Josh Heupel's done a good job. Like Tennessee a lot. I was 50-50 this game. I was like, I'm fading Bozeman with whichever way he goes. And I feel better with this pick because I feel like you're giving me the old dog that just hands Tennessee the loss every single year. And they think it's their year every year, and it's not this year either. I think what's going to happen, I think with Georgia's new change of tempo with Gunnar Stockton is going to have old Heupel in a blender, to be quite honest with you. And he's not going to be able to slow it down at all. And I think that the speed on that defense from Georgia is going to put – we're gonna find out who Joey Aguilar is pretty quickly on Saturday. And I think that's where Georgia pulls it off. I love these games because I genuinely could go either way. Like, I'm not sold on anybody.
Do you think Gunnar Stockton's much better than Aguilar, though? And be honest.
I don't think we've seen enough, or Stockton's been pressured enough. I think that he doesn't make mistakes, and I think that he keeps it in between the lines. I don't think he's Carson Beck. I think he's a good quarterback for Georgia's system. He's very Stetson Bennett. He doesn't have to be better. He doesn't have to be better than Joey Aguilar. He has to just make sure he wins the football game.
He can run the ball pretty well. I'll give it to him.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be better than Joey Aguilar.
I think you're going to see a repeat 2 years ago when Tennessee finally beat Alabama and they carried that goalpost all the way down to the river. It's going to happen again.
Okay. I love it.
Yep.
Bozeman, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, a great matchup. This spread surprised me a lot. I can't believe that. I'm shocked that Notre Dame is favored by 6. I think I was going to pick Notre Dame. Love what they do. Think they got a great quarterback and freshman, but the spread surprised me. Talk to us, Bose. Why is it 6.5?
It's because Notre Dame just had a bye week, so they got to rest because they were tired after that one game.
Amen.
No, but for real.
Yeah.
I mean, that is crazy. I think they were the only team to have a bye week in week 2. But so yeah, the only game they played was at Miami. You know, they lost that one close game. I don't know about the spread, why it is what it is. Maybe, obviously, the home field is going to mean a lot here. Notre Dame's won the series overall 4-2. The most recent game they played was last year, and Notre Dame beat them 23-13. So they'll probably take that in consideration too. They just played, and they won by 10. Marcel Reed, he's another one. So, you know, he made his debut against us last year and torched us. He's off to a great start. 66%, 7 touchdowns, no picks, 500 yards, plus 100 yards rushing. CJ Carr, he had some good stuff. He had some bad stuff, you know, freshman start. Jeremiah Love needs to have a better game. He only had 33 yards on 10 carries against Miami, but that's a good defensive line there. Texas A&M has a good defensive line too, but they've only played UTSA and they won 42-24, did not cover, and Utah State 44-22 did not cover. So 0-2 against the spread. Notre Dame's 0-1 against the spread, losing to Miami. But I'm going to take Notre Dame's at home, so they got to win by 7. All right, let's do it. Let's take the Fighting Irish minus 6.5.
Damn. Dave?
Yeah, well, I think the Fighting Irish needs to figure out a play besides a bubble screen and handing it off to Jeremiah Love. I will say that I think Texas A&M has a lot more talent than they do. I think their talent is a lot better than Notre Dame. I know Notre Dame has recruited at a high level, but I don't know, man. Like, they got that new quarterback, doesn't look so hot, didn't really look hot against Miami. And like I said, you got to figure out something besides bubble screens. Give me Texas A&M with the points.
I don't like your take there on Notre Dame, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, I agree. I
Yeah, I was
agree.
like, I don't know if we're watching the same game because Carr absolutely slung that thing. That kid was a stud. They didn't run
Oh
the ball
yeah,
well.
yeah, stud, big stud.
He made a couple fresh
I mean,
mistakes. It's gonna happen.
yeah, mocking me and just repeating what I said isn't an actual defense. He looked phenomenal for a true freshman. I don't like
Hey,
the
look,
bubble
like if you
screen
think you look
nonsense
good,
is out of control. He threw a good ball, had great pocket presence, drove him down the field, tied the thing up for being down 10. You should be a freshman quarterback in that kind of environment. The guy played a great ball. They lacked running the ball, and that's where I wanted to go Notre Dame because Jeremiah Love is a piece that they didn't use, and I think that he could be a huge factor. I do believe they went up against some of the best trench work in Miami. I do believe A&M has done a good job with their trenches. I think Mike Elko plays a very fierce defense. I'm going to take A&M. I was going to take Notre Dame, but because I'm going to fade Bozeman. And I like the 6 points. I mean, I think giving an A&M 6 is crazy. And I think the schematically what Elko's going to throw at this freshman quarterback is going to be something that he's not prepared for. I think that's what's going to be the edge. I do like Carr, but he's still a true freshman quarterback. I think a week off may hurt him, actually. Not a good timing for a week off. I think he could have used some more real-time reps before this game, personally. All right. We got the Bulls versus Miami, the same exact point spread that Florida had, minus 17.5. I'll go first here. I think Miami handles it. I like USF, though, with the points. And I just think because I think USF will – oh my gosh, I don't know. There's just
I've been the same back and forth.
There's just something about Miami where they might blunder a few and I've seen them do it too many times. Like I think this team can curb stomp USF, but USF just throws you kind of little nooks and nannies to keep them in it. And I don't see Miami just exploiting them, but I also think Carson Beck, when he's comfortable, he can sling that thing. I think USF has an explosive enough offense. I'm taking Miami. Kills me, but I got to take Miami. Dave?
Yeah, I think Miami's going to teach Billy Napier how to run offense and play defense at the same time. So give me Miami.
Bosey.
Well, yeah, I mean, I swear, Sheldon, I've been struggling all day with this game. So the series history of these two is 6-1 Miami. USF beat them in 2010. But if you guys remember last year, Miami beat them 50-15 with Cam Ward, 50-15.
Yeah.
And I know that this year's team, USF, is probably better than last year's team. But last year they did some good things too. Byron Brown, I mean, obviously he's the key part. He's got 473 yards passing and 109 yards rushing. The rest of the team combined has 130 yards rushing. So it's all Byron Brown. But the line of scrimmages, that's where we should have had an advantage against them last week, and I feel like we didn't. I felt like they got a lot of push on us. But Miami, this offensive and defensive line, Carson Beck, we don't like him, but his stats are good. 76% completion, 472 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He beats Notre Dame. They beat Bethune-Cookman. They didn't cover. He can sling it. I mean, he's no Aiden Warner, but he can sling it. They got Mark Fletcher. He's run for 152 yards. The USF, the thing that gets us, we just saw them. They're 2-0 against the spread, and not only are they against the spread, but they were underdogs in both games, and they won both of them. So this is almost like if you pick against them, you're like, okay, fool me once, fool me twice. Like, are we going to pick against them? And then here they're going to say, okay, well, we just showed you guys what we're doing, and you're still picking against us. But I just think
that you're picking against.
No, I think the trenches are too much with Miami, and they're just going to get the push. They're going to get those. Carson's going to complete passes. They're going to run the ball. I'm going to go Miami to cover. We're going to be all on the same page here. But
yeah, I put you over Miami.
If we're wrong, I won't be surprised.
I put you over Miami 10 minutes ago. Vandy versus the Bozcocks. Dave.
Excuse me?
They're your Cox.
Say what? Oh, jeez.
The Bozcocks.
Yeah, give them the cock. Well, I never forget.
Take it easy.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty impressed by Pavi over there at Vandy. I still have to go with South Carolina, man. Their D line is pretty good. I said I sold the stock on Sellers, and I ate a little bit of that one, and I don't think I'm going to sell the stock on Sellers anymore. I'm going to go with South Carolina with the points.
It's another tough one, I feel like. Bose?
Yeah, so obviously I took the Cox for my best bet a few weeks ago, and they did me right. So, but Lenore Sellers, he's the one everyone likes to talk about, but he's not off to the greatest start. He's only got 337 yards passing, 2 touchdowns in 2 games, 61% completion. So I think he's got to pick it up. Obviously, Pavia, he's off to a better start, 74% completions, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Cedric Alexander running the ball good. The series history, obviously, this is going to be crazy because Vandy's been bad forever, but 30-4, South Carolina leads the series 30-4. South Carolina has won 16 straight games. So, I'm riding the Cox again, baby. It's going to be 17-game streak. Sellers going to wake up and he's going to start his Heisman campaign, and the Cox are going to beat Pavia by more than
I
5
love it.
points.
I wanted Pavio. You're just giving me a gift here. Let me see how many we got separated right now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points I can make up for it. So that's exactly where we want to be. I think I'm going to make up for another one here because I'm not a seller. I'm sticking with the squad. I'm taking Florida minus 8.5. I love the points. Let's ride, baby. I ain't got nothing to say. I gave you a whole spiel on why I'm picking Florida. I already told you all that. So Dave, I know where you going. Dave already took LSU. So we'll go with that because he took 31-17. So it's up to you, Bozeman.
He's got LSU? All right.
Yeah.
So let me just give just a few points there on Florida. So the series for this game is 34-34-3. So one of these teams is going to take the series lead. My questions are, is Lagway going to improve? So I rewatched the game because I was there live. It's a totally different experience watching. So I watched it, and then I watched these breakdown films. His footwork is terrible. I don't know what's going on with his mechanics. I don't know why Callaway or Napier or who's the quarterback coach? What's his name? Yeah, I don't know, man. His footwork is all over the place. So I hope he improves that. So next question is, will the players have their backs against the wall mentality that they had last year? So we heard that they had the players only meeting led by Slaughter, which I love that. Hopefully they address, getting the O-line better and getting this offense back on track. Next is, will they run the damn ball? Like, he runs for 55 yards in the first series, and then you barely see him, and he runs for 40 the rest of the game. Caleb Banks, is Caleb Banks playing tonight? Sorry.
Thanks for watching.
And I saw
Yes.
Dallas is out, so hopefully Banks is in. I put, will Billy mismanage the game again at crucial time? Hopefully, he showed us that for 3 years. I hope he doesn't do it again. And then can we get the ball to VB3 as much as possible? And then can we get to Nussmeier like we did last year, 7 sacks? Nussmeier's not off to a great start. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 467 yards. They got Pyburn, they got Perkins, who, we had Pyburn, we almost had Perkins. They've got 6 tackles and 7 tackles. Nothing crazy, but they're going to be a factor. Pyburn's going to be foaming at the mouth. They beat Clemson 17-10, which is a cover because they were underdog. Then they beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. Favored by 38. They won by 16. So 1-1 against the spread, as are we. Lagway is now 7-1 as a starter in college in games that he started and finished. Plus he was 12-1 in his last season. So Lagway's 19-2 in his last 21 games. His only loss was in the state championship and then last week to South Florida. So I'm going to take the competitor and Lagway and the players only meeting with Slaughter. And if you can, Shelton, I sent you a text about 10 minutes ago with my pick. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is again. And this is probably silly, but if you could pull that up, this is gonna be my best bet of the week. You guys were already talking about yeah.
Holy.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't believe you took him.
So yeah, and so I took him for plus 9.5. It is. It's a tilt bet. I don't recommend doing this, but
okay.
Yep. There you go. So I got him plus 9.5. The line's already moved to 7.5, so I feel I got it in good there. And then I took him to win the game. So if they win or if they lose by 9 or less, I break even on that bet. I don't lose a penny. But if they win, I'm going to win almost $2,000. So, and that'll cover some of my bets for the season. Yeah, man. Hey, it's a tilt bet. Please do not do as I do. Or how's the saying go? Whatever. Just don't do that.
Do as I say, not as I do.
But there you go. That's it. But I mean, this team's just got me like we wait 9 months for this team. We get all the hype, not only from all the Gators media and stuff, but even the outside national media. This team's going to be a playoff team. This team's going to, and then 2 weeks in, here we are in shambles, and we're all looking for coaches already and fire Billy. I don't want to fire Billy. It's just, but I feel like
He's got a
he's
T-shirt,
shown us.
guys.
I have a T-shirt. I have to burn it. I don't want to do that. But he's 1-1 after every season. He's 1-1, 1-1, and he's 20-20. So he showed us he's a 500 coach. So if he just hired an offensive coordinator, we would love you. You're a great, like you did a great job building the program. The culture is great. The kids love you. You cleaned up the mess from the previous coach who remain unnamed. And your recruiting is really good, not elite, but really good. It's too late probably now to get offensive coordinator, but I hope these players can just win to spite everybody else, just like they did last year. So until they decide to just stop playing and give up on the coach, I'm in. You see it there. I'm in. And then I have to go to Miami next week. I bought the tickets. I bought the room, so I'll be in Miami next weekend too. So I'm in. I'm in.
Bozeman's in. Then you get your lottery ticket.
Yeah, the lottery ticket is okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, so let me get it. So my best bets for the week.
Why the other one's not pulling up?
My best bets for the year are 1-1. I got the Cox right, and I lost on Ole Miss with the last second field goal. My lottery tickets are 0-2. My parlays are 0-2. But the parlay, if you don't have it, is that the parlay?
I'm pulling up the other one here. Sorry.
All right, I got it written down here too. So my 3-team parlay this week is going to be Colorado, which is a game you wanted to talk about today.
One.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yep, Colorado plus 4.5. The Cox minus 5.5, and Arizona State to rebound at home minus 14.5. That's 20 to win, 136. The lottery ticket, Purdue is at home. They're playing USC, who's just obliterated people, but they played lesser competition. But Purdue at home getting 21. I'll take it. Ohio State at home against Ohio to cover. Ole Miss minus 7.5, which I know you don't like. Wake Forest at home plus 7. NC State, that's a Thursday night game. Arizona at home plus 1.5 against Kansas State, who we think is just underperforming. I think the dad fighting the son, that whole thing's a mess. And then Duke to rebound and beat Tulane. That's 5 to win, 233. So always bet responsibly, please. And if you want to win money with the way the season's going so far, maybe fade us until we can figure this out. So that's all I got.
The Boz, ladies and gentlemen. It's week to week here with contract negotiations. He may be back next week. He may not. So stay tuned for the drama. I love it.
Go Gators, baby.
Go Gators, Boz.
Love you guys.
Love you, buddy. Appreciate you as always, man. Be good. We'll see you. I'll get you the
See you
picks
guys.
tomorrow night for next week so you can get an early jump on it, all right?
Real funny. Real funny.
Later, Bubba.
See ya.
Boys and girls, be sure to smash it, like it, love it, do all the good stuff with it. It's time. I can't wait for these voicemails. And of course, we got the call-in show next Saturday. Make sure you guys call in for that. That call-in show should be a blast. Should be a late one.
Well,
it's going to be a late one.
I have some bad news. We only got 2 voicemails. I think everybody was down in the dopes today.
Feel that. I feel that. That's all right.
That whole week, the USF loss really just made people not want to call in. And it's the same person. So here we go.
Dabber says when that cash is put on a shirt, I will if Bozeman's $500 bet picks, we'll definitely put it on a shirt.
Monday after a tough loss, bro, I had to listen to this pressure before I even called in, bro. It's a few things I need to get off my chest. First and foremost, we got a DJ Lagway who didn't practice for 85% of the off season. But we have the number 1 running back in the country. So why are we not feeding him to make the plays easier for DJ Lagway further down the line? You know what I'm saying? Like further down in the game, right? And the next thing I want to get off my chest is it's LSU hate week, bro. Last year was tough for me because I'm from Miami. Originally, all my family's from Miami, and I had to deal with that. I'm currently living in New Orleans, Louisiana. And what I might have to deal with, because I'm such a loud, proud Gators fan out here, is going to really, like, make me so sad, bro. I don't want to deal with it. It's real hate for LSU, bro. Real quick history. Treon Harris, he got in trouble for sexual misconduct from some girl who's from Baton Rouge right before LSU week. The Will Greer situation happened right before LSU. It was LSU that wanted him tested. They got him tested. I can't confirm that, but I'm so sure in my bones they were just like, nah, he's playing too great. Let's figure it out. Because I was at the Ole Miss game. I was at the LSU game when Ole Miss lost to Florida. When number 3 Ole Miss lost to Florida, and the whole stadium was just shook up about it. They were really nervous to play Florida, and then that happened, right? Then the year after, they tried to get our boy Callaway in trouble, but he got out of it right before the LSU game. There's a real rivalry there, and they do not like us. I don't like them at all. And you don't have to not like him, not like LSU, like I don't like LSU, but like you have to have some type of hate towards these people because a lot of misfortunate things just so happen to come up when we got to play LSU. But yeah, bro, I really, like, for my logo, I really hope we go undefeated, but if that happens, then that means we might have to keep Billy Napier, and there's just too much bonehead stuff going on to keep Billy Napier, man. That's enough.
Hell of a call. Hell of a call. I hate LSU too, man.
Hell of a call.
I love it.
Yeah, look, like, it's weird because the rivalry between LSU and Florida is, like, because of that whole hurricane thing and all that stuff, I think that really is what really sparked it a lot. Like, there was always a rivalry there, but then you had the hurricane thing happen, and then now everybody
now there's just
made it personal, and
then you had
unfortunately didn't make it personal for us.
These things, the pie burn, it's a bloody one.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of that one. But here's the guy again.
I just want to speak to what Stephen Harris, the legendary Stephen Harris, spoke about a few years ago when he was in the locker room, got the team hyped, and then Billy came in and cooled him down. I just finished watching J.D. Pickle talk about for the USF game, we didn't play with intensity, and I feel like that's been Billy's motto. Like, he doesn't want intensity, and that's not what football players are made of. Like, we're made of pure adrenaline and blood-pumping intensity. Like, yeah, you got to get the work down, but when it comes down to it, you have to be really hyped to go out there and smash somebody in the mouth. You don't just do that with a calm demeanor unless you're Thanos or something. You know, you don't just do that with a calm demeanor. And last thing I want to say, which I think is really holding our team back. With just intensity on Saturday, we beat USF. And the last thing I want to say is I'm having an issue with Jordan Castell. I saw the film again, and it seems like he just want to bear hug people to the ground. Now, I love the kid. You know what I'm saying? You got the orange and blue on. I love you. But as a safety, you have to go head hunt. Look at the difference between how Bryce Thornton goes and connects with people and how Jordan Castell goes and connects with people. There's a big difference there. But, yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say any players are playing soft. All right, that's just not me. But you can't play soft in this league. You got to hit. I mean, come on, man. How many times have we heard Ahmad Black saying, hey, you bust them boys in the mouth? Like, you make them not want to be on the field with you anymore.
Yeah, agreed. I think we need some intensity. We definitely have been lacking it. They better figure it out. You better fire up that room. We saw that clip from LIU. There's something brewing in Gainesville. I didn't feel it or see it on Saturday against USF. We better see it this Saturday against LSU. Great preview there with Chris Marlor. Be sure to go give him a follow and some love. Shout out to Dave Swolder. Shout out to Bozeman for the picks again. It's been a busy week, boys and girls. We'll be live tomorrow. No, actually, I don't know yet. I think I might be making some changes. So just keep your eyes and ears peeled. We'll be having the College Game Day show drop, I think, on Friday morning. I think we're going to move it too. So y'all be good. Stay safe. Enjoy your Thursday night football tomorrow night. We'll see you guys Friday morning. And then, of course, Saturday night, we'll be having our watch party live at 7:30. That's Dave. I'm Shelton. Until next time, boys. Peace and love.
Peace.